Welcome to the New Normal Podcast. I want to tell everybody thank y'all for tuning in. We got a very good topic for y'all today. We're going to be talking about Americans being dumb, stupid, ignorant, just Americans just being just oblivious at times to a lot of the bullshit that they subject us to. Today is Outrage Wednesdays. We got some things that we are actually outraged about. We're going to be talking about Jabari Peoples update. We're going to talk about Diddy trial. We're going to be talking about RFK and Tucker Carlson interview about the vaccines and vaccine company not being able to be sued. We're going to be talking about the insurance fraud. We're going to be talking about taxes, Americans being taxed. And finally, we're going to be talking about the bounty hunters wanting to bribe the commission or the city council so they can get paid more between ICE and them, seeing who's going to pay the most so they ain't got to round up illegals.
I saw that. That's crazy.
So
we in dark times right now, man. Like I said, I don't think people they don't understand what's going on. And then they did say this gonna start affecting Haitians. But I know we'll get into that when we get to the segment. But yeah, it's a lot going on out here.
So I'm waiting on this video to load. It should have been loaded by now. I don't know why it's taking so long, but we're gonna start with the Jabari Peoples update. And the reason we starting here because that is literally 1 mile. Well, it ain't even 1 mile, is it? That happened like 1 mile away from here. And the reason we're gonna be talking about this update because we had a lot of people out, I guess down at Homewood or was at the police station, protesting. And the reason we're gonna be talking about this video in particular is because Aaliyah is saying they're not going to release the body count footage like they initially said they would release it to the family because they said it would affect the ongoing investigation. Now there are some people that are saying that Jabari, well, let's make it clear. A lot of people are saying that this is a racial issue. And the reason they believe that this is a racial issue because Homewood police, if you ever been to Homewood, seem to be predominantly white. And this is a black kid. So one could assume that he was killed by a white police officer. But what people are saying, they're confirming allegedly he was killed by a black officer being shot in the back. And since this video has loaded, I want to play that now for you guys.
Leah telling us they are denying for now the request by the family of Jabari Peoples to see that body camera video.
Monday marked a week since Peoples was shot at a Homewood soccer complex. This update from Leah comes today after an attorney for the family said a second investigation ordered by the family showed that Peoples was shot in the back. Homewood police say a veteran officer smelled marijuana and Peoples resisted arrest and went for a gun in the car door when the officer fired. A statement from Aaliyah says in part the agency, quote, reviewed the request and determined disclosure of the requested recording would affect the ongoing investigation. Aaliyah respectfully declined to make the requested disclosure. Your breaking news reporter Taylor Pollock is staying on top of these developments. She'll have new reaction coming up at 6 on your side.
Well, I think, like I said, with this type of issue that has been, I ain't gonna say a continuous thing, but we've seen several instances of this. Like I said, E.J. Bradford in the Galleria a few years ago, Mike Brown, a few others, and some of these is very. You really can't justify because you would think the training that officers get to address each and every situation has different tactics. Like if I was to see, if you look at movies or whatever, you see one armed a gunman versus this is a 6-man, army. You're gonna have SWAT. You're gonna have more tactical approach. You got different game plans. So one would ask, okay, you saw this boy in this park, it was closed, smoking marijuana with his girl allegedly. What is the protocol? Is it the same protocol of a person that's being uber aggressive to you, or is it something that you can say, hey, because you've seen other cases with other races where the last resort is the gun, even with another race even having a weapon, they still won't pull the gun first.
Well, we just gonna go by reports and what people are, saying and speculating because we don't know till it comes out. But from that, they said, it was a tussle. He ran to go get a gun. And that's how he got shot in the back. Now I don't know how somebody turns around and you just assume they're going for a gun. Unless the gun was there, present, like he had for you to just that happened. Like I'm just thinking about the sequel. Let's say we tussle and they turn around and you just shoot them in the back. Like you say you're going for a gun, but how do you know that? How he ain't running away from you?
That's true.
Like it's so much stuff that goes into this that's why we really do have to wait till they come out. Also, like I said, the black police being quote unquote culprit or murderer, or the police that killed him, suspect that killed him. I wonder, is that going to shift the outrage of the people?
Absolutely, it's going to shift the outrage. I think once they see that he's black, it's going to be, people are going to fake as if they're still mad, but if it would be a totally different approach or reaction if it was to confirm it was a white male, because
that's the problem.
We've seen white men get off of killing young black men unarmed. Orlando was it Castile?
Oh, he got off.
I don't think got off, but I'm just saying it being a white man versus a black officer.
Yeah.
So I think the outrage is gonna shift, and like I said, once the video, but just with Aaliyah, how it's showing something that if I look at it and you look at it, how can I don't see it in
how can we misinterpret it differently?
Yeah, how can we misinterpret it, and how could it affect your investigation anyway?
See, that's conflicting too, because first of all, they said it was off-duty police. They say it was plain clothes. Like it's so much stuff. Now they got a body cam footage. Now reports that came out said they was gonna release it to the family. Now Leah coming out said they're not gonna release it to the family because they're gonna mess up investigation. My understanding, what other investigation is there really needed to be had if you could show blatantly, like you said, that he was resisting arrest, he was fighting, he was high, he was a young guy. We got into a tussle. He looked like he was going for a gun, and if I could clearly see that, then what discrepancies are we all going to have? And that's the problem that I have with this issue is now, even like the comment section where I was looking on Carlos's page, where people saying it was black, and then like the more and more people that was coming on them, it seemed like it was like a decrease in anger. And that's the issue that I don't like is, why does life only matter? Or y'all get so outraged when a white man has to take it. Like our life should be valued no matter who takes a life and no matter who's in the wrong. Like I said, it could be just bad policing, and that should be addressed too. It doesn't have to be a racial issue, because you got to understand, like in Birmingham, even though we're talking about Homewood, in Birmingham, you still going to encounter a lot of black policemen pull you over, and you want to make sure that those police are policed and trained and understand protocol and mental illnesses and those type of things when they interact with your black ass too. So it don't need to just necessarily, because he white and he racist, he killed. No, you need to make sure everybody across the board has proper training, love their job. This is what they really want to do. I think that's another thing. Like I interviewed one of my homeboys on the podcast. He said they only have one psych evaluation, and that's when you get the job.
And I was also looking at that. What's the training? Again, plain clothes. I can't just take your word for it. And if you in plain clothes, are you in a police vehicle? Right. Are you in a personal vehicle or unmarked car? To you cosplaying as police? Because you seeing this with ICE, where they got, well, show me your badge, show me the warrant, show me that this is a valid detainment, or this is a valid arrest, or is this something different like human trafficking, kidnapping, whatever the case may be. So I think it's. But to your point, I think it dictates the amount of victimhood that I can bask in when it's a white officer versus a black. Okay, it's just another black on a black. We ain't gonna really take that too serious. You see what I'm saying? Because he's suffering from the same shit we suffering from, but it's this inferiority complex that if it's white, that means you're bullying us. You're playing on our weakness, because we can't really retaliate. Again, you be in the club, a black dude step on your J's, you finna go get a chopper. A white man step on your J's, you gonna, I'm sorry, sir, my bad, sir. Your ass gonna get in pocket. And we know that to be the case.
That reminds me, and we're gonna send this subject too long. That reminds me when I first started my job that I got now. So I drive trucks and I transport pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
And they said they've had multiple basically hijackings of where people would get fake police cars.
Yeah.
Pull you over, act like they're the police, and then you get out, realize that the police that drive off with the truck.
This been going on since the 80s.
Yeah, so him not plain clothes, I'm the police just pulling up on you. If he was plain clothes, like I said, that was speculation too. But if he's plain clothes, and it's late at night. I'm a young kid out here just trying to chill with my girl. You pull up on me, man, it's gonna be. At the end, like I said, you don't know if he got out aggressive. You don't know if he was cool. Like, hey man, I'm out here, I'm patrolling. Hey, y'all, y'all need to go on, because I just don't understand. This is just me. Just put myself in a police mind state, or just being in that position, like you talked about what I felt as a father. And I said, no, not in this situation. And the reason being because I done it, not necessarily saying all things just because you've done it, people supposed to do. But I think that's kind of like a thing that people do when they're, growing up teenagers, park after dark, sex with. I think it's a thing. So having that mindset, I've just been like, hey, pull up, hey, y'all go on, man. It's closed. You're not supposed to be here. Y'all just go on about your business. Go, I see you with your girl. If I don't catch y'all, doing nothing crazy, even, and to be honest, if I catch you, smashing your chick, y'all naked, hey man, put your clothes on, go ahead and go, because somebody else catch you out, especially being, if I'm black, seeing another black kid right here, if I'm black, I'm gonna give you some grace, like, hey, bro,
And that's the issue, because all skin folk ain't kinfolk. You see what I'm saying? So is a black man seeing a young black boy, you don't see yourself in this. You see what I'm saying? You ain't cognizant of what's going on. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all some grace. I'm in plain clothes. Y'all don't supposed to be out here. Hey man, y'all know you young, go on about your way.
Right.
What stripes you finna get off? Even if you was to arrest this boy for what? A gram, a half a gram, they smoking up L or whatever. It's not worth the paperwork.
Right.
But you trying to go over and beyond because you want to prove yourself to who?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what they want to prove or what they got going on. Inferiority complexes, or you're trying to kiss up the mouse. So But like I told you, even when I had to do community service, when I got in trouble, and we had, I could told you that simulation with the gun. They said, no matter what the race is, if you see a black male suspect on that screen, you're more likely to shoot or handle that suspect differently. And the dude was telling me, it's like he's like, you'll get a few kids, a few people in here that don't feel that type of way against like black people, but he's like, it's going to typically be a black person though. And I was like one of the people, like we had a whole class, and I was like one of the people that just wanted to talk it out with the black person. And that's when he was like he's like, they give you the scores and stuff, how you do, how you handle everybody, talking to them and stuff like that. And I scored like one of the highest on the test. But he's like, most of the people, when we looked at the data, if the black man came out, he was like a homeless looking black man. They just shot his ass as soon as he popped up.
And you want to know what? I do want to dial something back, because I know on the podcast we discussed this thing called black fatigue, where we look at the black behaviors or the behaviors of black men and women, and we seeing a lot of people, white people, were speaking out against it or were very opinionated about it. And I thought about it. I saw a clip. I can't think of his name. I think he was on the podcast, but he said I don't let the judgment or the standard of how we should behave when you look at what other races are doing in Mexico. Very violent.
Right.
White folks have been imputing violence since everybody and everything they interact with suffers at the hand of their violence. He said, you look at our people back in the 50s, where you had the Civil Rights Museum, you had black men, women, and children in suits, conducting themselves with poise and decorum and behavior, and they were still treated and hosed down. So this black fatigue narrative is just something, again, to create the disdain and justify the actions, when, man, y'all was doing this to MLK and they was walking in the streets peacefully with suits.
Right.
So how you gonna tell me now that I'm doing this is making you fatigued, when y'all don't care what we do? We can have on suits and ties, bean pies, and you still gonna do what you gonna do. So I want to debunk that black fatigue shit that we've been pushing and people been pushing. Now, I get it. We should grow from it, because I don't believe in staying in that place where we're just operating of residual effects from slavery. But it don't matter how we conduct ourselves to certain groups. They're going to treat us how they're going to treat us, because it ain't what we look like, it's what they know we are. So I did want to make sure I brought that to light, because I'm like, they made a video. I said, man, yeah, we was walking in suits, kids, women dresses, very polite, very ladylike, and you hosing these folks down.
I agree.
And you trying to tell me I'm acting a fool in church? This the determining factor. Now you fatigued, when you was still doing this when we was in suits, and not your way. Y'all was coming to our situations, trying to integrate us. So, like I said, I just think that's just very hypocritical, because now it's a talking point to what now well, I'm treating them like this because I got black fatigue. Nah, we got white fatigue.
So. I agree to a certain extent. And the thing I think for me when it comes to like black fatigue, I guess it would be more so nigga fatigue. It'll just our interactions with each other and how we steward our children and shit like that. Yeah. Like that's the things that I look at on a scale. When you talk about going back in the day, I look at it how we treated each other back in the day, how we raised our children back in the day, what we thought was acceptable, moral, our moral compass. And I think a lot of it is basically us being whitewashed. Like I said, I still remember listening to old niggas sit around talk about how back in the day, they wanted to get their dick sucked. They had to go across the track to the white girls, So there's a lot of stuff that was different now than back in the day. And that's like I said, I think black people have fallen from grace when I look at it. And I always say that black people was the moral compass for a lot of shit that went on in America, because we used to I remember people say, oh, that's that white folk shit. A lot of shit would be white folk shit, So just like even fucking in the ass, like that's weird nowadays. And I'm starting to hear a lot of black people, what the fuck?
It ain't weird no more. It's a new normal. It's a new normal standard.
It's crazy shit, like I said. But y'all put in the comment section, how do y'all feel about this Jabari situation? Do y'all think that the outrage will be less when they find, if it comes to be true that this officer is black? Do y'all think, put a 1 yes, put a 2 no, that you still think people gonna ride and tear shit up and you march and all of that type of stuff? Yeah, I just want to know how y'all feeling. Like I said, make sure y'all like the video, make sure y'all share the video, make sure y'all get the word out. It's a New Normal podcast, and we give y'all good content like this all the time, Mondays, Wednesdays, and on Saturdays. But we're not gonna record this Saturday at 12:30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Americans are only what?
Only educated.
Americans are only educated. What you mean by that?
Unless they meant to say undereducated.
Oh, uneducated.
Yeah. I think a lot of stuff that they hide from us, and information is the key, but it's more than information, because you can write something, say something, and then you can take it back.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I think it's more so us being sovereign. Like how long do you want to live and operate under the guise of white supremacy? They tell you, hey, you need to get a star on your license, and you can't travel here. We the only group that just sit there and take it. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. And it's almost like it's the norm. Like we don't even question it.
And that's why today's show is called Americans Are Stupid or Americans Are Dumb, because we don't question it. We just go by day by day business. And we all know this by design. You get doped up on the weekends, get high on the weekends, can't wait to kick your shoes off from work. You ain't got no energy to go and protest, fight. You ain't got no energy to start your own business or pursue your own dreams. You just live it check to check. Your bitch get on your nerves, your kids get on your nerves. You want to ship them off to daycare and school, and the schools are piss poor and they ain't learning shit. So like it's a never ending cycle that you're perpetuating. And somebody got to stand up and say, hey, this shit, even though we've been doing this shit for so long, this shit's stupid. It got to be some point in life or in time where people say, yeah, we might have been doing this shit for 100 years. That shit's stupid. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Diddy verdict.
Oh, Diddy. It's crazy right here, boy.
Did not expect this verdict, but I don't know what I expected to come out of this Diddy trial.
I thought they was going to slam him. I did, but when I saw them drop the charges, I said...
I knew they weren't going to slam him when they kept asking, the jury kept going back and asking the judge for like, what does this mean, distribution and stuff like that. So it looked like a jury that was really like struggling with the fact of them not really proving the case. And then like we all said, I think most people came to the conclusion, I don't really want to hear about Diddy fucking. We thought y'all was going to give us some big time scandal, and all we heard was him and Cassie having sex, different women paying prostitutes. Diddy was gay, and
all of them complicit. Ain't nothing forced about it. You leaving and coming back, and even got you with your own, Cassie saying you gonna unalive somebody and do. Like, come on, man, you're not no victim.
So that, like I said, I think even most people hearing that, like even Diddy's best friend outside the courtroom now. Had a shirt on today talking about a freak off is not a Rico.
Yeah.
And
It's not.
That's just what it boils down to. Like, if I don't know, but I'm gonna play this so y'all can see what the verdict was. And y'all make sure y'all like the video, make sure y'all share the video, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
As possible. My name is Martin Alvarado. I'm a
Count one here. This is the racketeering charge. We have the count here of not guilty on racketeering. This is coming in real time. We have count two also coming in here, not guilty. That is the sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura. Count three, we have guilty. Count three is guilty for the transportation of Cassie Ventura. That is guilty. Count four, this is the sex trafficking of Jane. That's a pseudonym. Not guilty. Count five, we have guilty. That is 5 counts. We have a mixed verdict here. Count one here.
So with that being said, I really got a question for if you're a lawyer, you might watch this video. Is it illegal now to fly a chick out and pay her to have sex? Because ain't that what Diddy just got convicted of?
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. I don't think it is, because if I got a girl, let's say this is my girlfriend, and I'm like, babe, come with me, here. Oh, you want to go shopping? Here, $500.
Yeah.
Who's to say that ain't paying for the favor? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Paying her to be with me in a sense. So you can't, you got to really, and then you got to hold all parties accountable. You got to hold the trick and the prostitute.
See, that's the thing I don't like. I don't like the one that's if it's illegal, it got to be illegal for both parties.
Yeah.
And so
they put it on the man, because the prostitutes, he human trafficking, like a lot of pimping and pandering.
Right.
The pimps get the heavy sentences. You got people in jail right now from pimping and pandering under the guise of sex trafficking, when this chick chose him and came to him wanting to get into the game, but she get off scot-free. You got to be equal accountability. You can't just say I made this chick do whatever. And
that's what I don't like. I watched those videos of the undercover stings, the cop episodes, and they'll get the girl in the room like, oh, this is the 6th time you've been caught this month. 6 times? How you able to get in and out of jail and just bond out, a $200, $500 slap on the wrist? Like, is this illegal or not? Because at this point, it's all the money. I'm gonna tell you what the conclusion I've drawn with the way the government and how they handle women in certain crimes. Because if you look at, it's way more men in prison than women, but it's way more women in here than men. The women are the ones that make the economy spin because of how they spend money. Oh yeah.
So I can't take this financial resource off because it's gonna affect my bottom line. So I can't have you in jail 12 years, 6 years, because how much money you gonna spend on diapers, bullshit designer, going here. You spend money in so many different markets that makes our economy go.
Yeah.
So I can't hit you with heavy sentences. The man's gonna be more frugal.
Yeah.
The man is about saving and investing. Yeah. This motherfucker gonna spend on bullshit.
I agree with that.
That's what it is, man. Like, come on, man. You how you give it? You weigh all the crimes up. It's significantly less time given to women to men for the same exact crimes.
And this is another thing. I just don't like how we using that money shit. And I get it, money make the world go round. But for a lot of this stuff to be like to be disproportionate on women and men, classes on rich and poor. For instance, like I just think about like Floyd Mayweather's daughter. We ain't heard shit else about her stabbing NBA Youngboy other baby mama.
This is attempted murder we're talking about. How can you beat something like this? No jail time.
We ain't seen no jail. We ain't seen no trial or nothing.
Nothing. Attempted murder. This is attempted murder we talking about. What?
Right.
But you gonna lock a dude up for having a switch, and he ain't shot it yet.
Right. That's crazy, ain't it?
Make this make sense.
Or just take a simple
or a gun, or just a regular gun.
Or just like we said, I'm just trying to get some pussy. Nobody's gonna be hurt.
This is attempted murder. This young lady has did, and ain't nothing can't like. And he was able to pay this out.
Yeah, he paid it out. He got some good friends, some close friends, know some shit, and he got his baby girl. And I don't blame him. I'm not even
do it
because myself. I had the money. My son got jammed up on some stupid shit. I'm gonna do the same thing, right? But the thing I'm concerned about is the ability to just do something like that.
Knowing who your daddy is. I know my daddy got the bread, so I'm gonna get off.
Right.
Meanwhile, this woman who you stabbed traumatized for life.
Right. So Like I said, it's a lot of crazy stuff. But the charges that Diddy was convicted on are the 2 charges that don't have a minimum sentence. How long you think they'll give him?
I think they're gonna give him a year in time serving. They're gonna put him on 5 years probation.
That what you thinking?
Yeah,
5-year probation.
Yeah, because they like, you gotta wait, but we're gonna watch you for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
You gotta check in. They're gonna make it hard for him.
Yeah.
Because they still want him.
Do you think he gonna act worse after he get out probation, or how you think the Diddy demeanor gonna be? Do you think people still gonna work with him and stuff?
Nah,
they ain't work with him.
He gonna form new alliances, but the old people, because I gotta look at who was in my corner, my character witnesses, who came to vouch, who came to, whatever the case. But this the thing, under public opinion, he done been destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, let me ask you this. Has he really been destroyed? And the reason that I say that, because I think everybody's sentiment, I'm gonna go back to this, is that Diddy's just like the fuck.
It ain't about the Rico. It's about him whooping that girl on camera. That's what his reputation is killed at.
Yeah.
Because you can say whatever and lay out the facts. I got a video of him kicking and punching on a young girl. That can't. It's no way to rework that.
It's no way to rework it. But I'm gonna say this. Even the women that I've seen a lot lately, it's like, it's Diddy. We know a lot of chicks that are signed up to get a black eye from here. They gonna have their lifestyle.
I mean, yeah, but we talking about the big wigs that he was working with prior to the networks, the Jay-Z at the Rock Nation brunches. Ain't gonna be none of that no more. He ain't, because they done turned on him. Yeah. Why would he go back to the same people that turned on him anyway?
So hold on, have they turned on him, or they just didn't say anything?
Turned on me.
You think they're turning on you?
Yeah. If I get jammed up and my partner, family, whatever, that know me, close to me, can come and provide a word or whatever, some type of influence that can dictate how this outcome is, and you sit in silence because you don't want to tarnish your brand and what you currently got, you turned on me.
And see,
you left me out to dry.
I think, okay, so let's say character witness, right? So they say he had no character witnesses on his side.
Mm-hmm.
Would you and would a jury respect a Jay-Z coming to speak for him?
Yeah.
And the reason being is because I know that a lot of people honestly don't like rich people. I think they probably thinking these 2 guys might be in cahoots together. They're doing the same thing. So of course he's going to come here and speak for him and do these things. Like, it could be a lot of stuff where people, the character witnesses, is in the same circle. You get Kanye West, you get Jay-Z, you get all these people that are character witnesses to you. Then, but hold on, I'm gonna say this too on the other side. Even the people that have said they've been around Diddy a lot, they say Diddy is a horrible motherfucker. So
I'm not a fan of Diddy in no regard. I'm just looking at it from an objective perspective. The facts are the facts. You try to get him on Rico, sex trafficking, that's not what he did. Domestic violence, yes. Prostitution, no. But yeah, to a degree. But this is a domestic violence case. It's not a Rico. Y'all try to put all these videos out to show him beating up on the chick and his freak offs. That's not Rico.
Right. When
these chicks are willingly signing up to do this.
All right.
It's not Rico.
I agree. Y'all let us know what y'all think. How much time did he gonna get? That's what I wanted. I think he could probably get time served too.
Yeah, he gonna get out and he gonna get on probation.
Yeah, he probably gets some probationary time, and he gonna be an asshole. You think Miami going back?
No,
she ain't going back.
He done. He ain't gonna take her back. You moved on. You ain't nowhere near. You ain't show up to nothing. What I'm gonna hit you up when I get out for?
I'm just wondering. I'm just saying. Do you think? Because optics is a thing too.
He's gonna get back into a certain space, but it's not gonna be at the Diddy level that he was before he went in. Nah.
And the reason I say optics is a level because she was talking about she like to get peed on, all of this. So having her there in the crowd supporting you might not be the best look.
Yeah.
Even Kanye West showing up for you, it really ain't he showed like support, but it's not a good look. Like, Kanye, you out here saying stuff about the Jews, you got your wife half naked out here, you getting caught, your dick suck, you saying stuff about your baby, your ex-wife and stuff. So even you showing up for me is not really a great character or person in my corner.
I mean, be that as it may, he still got influence. Jay-Z still got influence.
Yeah.
They're high level people, and a lot of that comes with some of that moolah on the back end. So I think he's gonna do a year. It's time served. He's gonna get some heavy probation and a lot of restriction. That's what they're gonna do to him.
What you mean? What restrictions you think he have?
Ain't no traveling out here. Ain't no going out the country. Ain't no they gonna it's gonna be like that.
That's basically they still gonna have his ass in jail a little bit. Fucked up. Like I said, this case was bullshit. Now, by the time they got to like the week 2, and I kept hearing sex stuff. This
because you got to prove RICO. This not RICO. These are not RICO.
So we're about to move on. We're finna talk about RFK and what he had to say about Fauci and the vaccines. We got 2 videos we're gonna play real quick. Y'all make sure y'all like the video, share the video, make sure y'all subscribe to the New Normal Podcast. And if you want to support the channel, the Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. We're doing call-ins, and the number is also at the bottom of the screen if you would like to call in and speak to us and tell us what's on your mind about any other topics that we've talked about. Let me play the video for y'all. Here we go.
You would do if you wanted to, what you would.
So hearing that about how they finagle vaccines results and how they use different testing things now, like VAERS nowadays, and I listened to a lot of this interview. It is crazy that the almighty dollar is more important than your health. Americans, we are stupid, we are dumb, and like I said, he gives a lot of names, studies. You can go and look and research a lot of this stuff, and the reason that it got to be brought to the attention, I just think about like COVID and how especially Black people would talk about racism, and all this stuff they did, and how Marietta Lynch, Henrietta Lacks, they got a Black woman cells and they use it, or how the doctors think that Black women can take more pain than anybody else, or how they have malpractice when Black women have children, or the Tuskegee experiment. They have all these things, but then as soon as COVID comes and your ass gets scared, you want to put all this trust in the government, like the government finna save you. And I know so many, honestly, I don't think too many people that's around me that I know got vaccinated like that. I might know like 2 people, but for the most part, Black people that I seen. But then it's just like the outrage that I seen on social media, telling people that you got to get vaccinated so their vaccine will work. This idea, and I should have got the other video of the doctor that does the autopsies of people who've been vaccinated, and said you could tell that these people are dying from a vaccine injury, like myocarditis in the young boys. Like, these are things that are going on that we just sitting around and letting it happen, not being able to sue pharmaceutical companies, vaccine companies for like vaccine injuries, the rise in autism, like all of these things is crazy. And they, like he said, this is linked to like the hepatitis B shot and getting shots so early, and how many more shots that kids get nowadays than we got when I was growing up.
It's a video, I should have sent it to you, where they were showing, I think 50% of newborn babies that they died within 48 hours of getting vaccines.
Dang.
And another one showed, this was on Joe Rogan podcast, it said horrifying new study finds that COVID mRNA shots have now killed more Americans than World War I and World War II and Vietnam combined.
Damn.
So this, like, because when I first seen, I'm like, I'm not taking no fucking vaccine. That's insane that you come out with this virus or whatever, and you got a vaccine that takes normally years to patent and make sure is legit.
Yeah.
What you find out, ain't none of them legit.
Yeah. When
you think about it, a lot of illnesses and residual side effects come from the ones that even went through a few years on the due process that's necessary to make it legit. Yeah. So when you have people, Americans, and these politicians getting on the internet and these news broadcasts and addressing this, saying, I'm gonna give you a burger and fries if you get the shot. If you don't get the shot, you can lose your job.
Bruh.
They playing you in your face, and you're so stupid because you got to get the J's. I got to get the Louis bag. I got to pay my car note. Give me the shot. I'm gonna do it.
One of the things that
your ass drop fucking dead.
One of the things that was also crazy is they tell you if you're overweight That's another bad thing, a pre-existing health condition, kind of. If you're overweight, that you're probably gonna die from COVID too. But you want to tell me you finna give motherfuckers a box of donuts? You finna give me a burger? You finna give me a fries? Shit to just add to the weight issue?
I'm telling you,
That's how stupid we are.
The psychological loop that these people are able to play on us by repeating and dressing up in suits is it's a psychological is training you to be inferior and weak.
Yeah.
Because I'm on TV with suits with all these people and cameras in here.
Mm-hmm.
To show it gives the impression that I'm very important and you should listen and do as I say.
Well, you know,
instead of thinking for
they
yourself.
They got to study like that.
Yeah, they do.
They got a study that said, I forgot, but basically they would have people in there and they would have somebody come in and say something in regular plain clothes. And then they have another study if you come in like a doctor's coat, like if they see you like in a doctor's coat or like a suit or something, people respect you more and think that you know what you're talking about based on how you package stuff. So
yes, and the colors, if you know they're gonna wear blue suits. The police, boys in blue.
Yeah.
Blue is a power color.
Yeah.
You know, when you're doing business, they say you wear a blue or a gray suit, but most so you're gonna wear a blue suit.
Yeah.
So a lot of these games that they've been planning on us is just for us to still just do it and do it and do it without question, without rebellion, because you still want to buy some bullshit.
Right.
You still want to do the same. You don't want your way of life disrupted. There's going to be some time where your way of life is going to be disrupted. The what you see today, you can go out of town, go to Miami, go here, go to out of country and take pictures and show I'm over here. That shit gonna come to a stop sooner than later.
Right.
Sooner than later. But it's just like I said, we're just stupid.
We are dumb. We dumb as shit. And like I said, it's just amazing that people can have that much power to do us like this. And it's just a small group of people. Like even when you think about like Congress, like the Senate, the House, like those, thousands of people maybe that's in government can rule over 350 million people in America and still make decisions over shit in the other parts of the world. What?
It's crazy, man. That's what you call white supremacy.
That's
what
crazy.
Racism and that's the embodiment. You think is I'm gonna pull you over because you blessed? No, that's profiling. This is white supremacy and imperialism. I can say, hey, you can't do this, and we say, okay. Well, they say you can't do that. Ooh.
And what they say, because it was, like I said, at one point in time, it was legal to hang motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So, like I said, even the idea that morality and right and wrong is embedded in these laws, nah, just a way of life and how people making money and what people feel like they want to do and who got the power right now. These laws have nothing to do with morality, right, wrong, good, evil, because a lot of these bitches is really stupid. And I heard this saying, it says utopia is always one law away. And basically what that means is people always think they finna make it better or just debate. I gotta make one more law and then it's gonna be perfect. No, you're gonna just keep making laws. And actually, we need to get to the point where a lot of these laws are taken off the book. It shouldn't be no reason why I can go out here and shoot somebody and I got murder 1, murder 2, manslaughter, capital murder. Like, come on now.
What is it? Yeah.
Come on now. Like all of these, like you should be you got murder. And I guess maybe if you intended to do it.
Self-defense is very clear. I don't think you can argue. If I'm at my house, you break in my house, armed, and I shoot you, it's clear self-defense. I'm in here asleep.
Yeah.
What you mean I can't defend my property in my house?
Same thing with your car. So if I try to break in your car with a gun, you was sitting in it or something.
It's crazy. You telling me I can't defend myself? I got to call you and wait 19 minutes, sometimes a few hours for you to.
Yeah.
So let the crime happen to me. You ain't finna find my car. It's gonna cost me more money.
Right.
That is insane. But if you was in a situation, you gonna do it and get off.
Right. Depending on who you know, how much money you got and all this shit. And don't let it be on no bullshit like you stay on like a state line or a city line and you call. Now they trying to figure out, well, does this fire station go or this fire station go? Now they trying to figure out and debate on which fire station actually supposed to come to your house or police station come to your house. That's even more bullshit. And that's happened a couple times. So like I say, we put our lives in too many people's hands. And I think they got it to where, like you said, we were fearful. And we scared to do a lot of shit. Like I heard Dan Pena, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Old white billionaire, I think, but he has a class, and he says one of the questions that he asks the people that take his class, like one of the first quizzes that you take, he's like, the first question is, if somebody slapped your mama right now, what would you do? A, beat their ass. Like, 2, see if they had want to know what kind of day they had. Like, it was like those type of questions. He said most people would click and check, I want to see what kind of day they had. He said that let me know if you're gonna be rich or not, because who the fuck want to sit around? I don't give a fuck what kind of day you had. You just slapped my mama.
Yeah.
You can't just be going around slapping motherfuckers just because I got a bad day. You get slapped.
You get
You
to do
get
what you
slap.
want.
Yeah, no. And he said that. He said you would be surprised. People will sit there and click, I want to know what kind of day they had.
We all have bad days. You're gonna have your day gonna get worse. And it's gonna be of your choice. You get to decide what type of day you have.
Crazy. Let me play this other video we got right here. Why does anybody need a pardon for the future? The only thing I can think of, if you know exactly what crimes you committed, to where they can go in the book and say you did this, where you get a pardon. Because the thing is, you have to know you committed a crime to get pardoned for, right?
Exactly. Or immunity. You know you're guilty of something.
Right. So you know you've actually committed a crime, because if you didn't commit one, be no reason for a pardon. And this go back to the right people, right classism, right money, knowing the right folks. All of that is a play. And like I said, we want to be able to have some leverage in life. Granted, you know what I'm saying? Everybody it can't be, to be truth be told, it can't be clear cut. But when you get in positions like Dr. Fauci, and you over a lot of people's lives or what they're doing in that pandemic, and you fund certain things, and you can get pardoned, you ruin millions of people's lives. Millions. And we can go back and look at, you are a part of this pharmaceutical company, so you now recommending a medicine that you got stock in. What? Like, we can literally look at what you have stock in. Well, we're going to recommend this. We think y'all should take this. Well, now I'm going to look at it. Oh, you own 1,200 stock or 1,200 shares of this stock. Yeah. That is crazy. And we just see, the thing is, it got to be times where people are saying, fuck waiting on the government. Fuck this pardon. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Donald Trump. Hey, you fucked up. Us, it got to be, because we all, a lot of these people like to believe in the Constitution. Say, hey, a tyrannical government can be overthrown. Yep. We're a critical mass. We're at a point where the government should be overthrown at this point. It should have been overthrown. We still sitting here.
I gotta get my J's. Said the J's come out Saturday.
That's why
I gotta go out.
Right.
I gotta do day drinking and drink done and put it on my head and all that bullshit. I gotta go to work. I got bills to pay. I stay over here. I don't want to mess that up. See, if 25 million people right now, and I know that's a lot, but you gotta think that's a small percentage with 360 in America. Just said, fuck it. We just tap out of society right now. That would change a lot of shit. Yeah. If we can get 25 million people to just say, fuck it, I ain't going to work. I'm not paying no bills. I ain't paying no light bill. I ain't doing none of this shit. I ain't doing no car tag. I'm not doing none of this shit today. I'm just tapping out of society. What y'all gonna do about it? Yeah. This is when I think that's on the brink, and I think they have something ready for that.
Somebody, if people revolted.
Yeah. They got something
gonna happen.
Well, they already been saying, like, and I don't know if you saw that. Have you seen what they doing in DC? Some on the way that they erecting them barricades, like steel barricades around the White House. Yeah, this is last night.
So you think?
I think I sent you.
They keep saying that something gonna happen for the 4th of July. Yeah. Like, they playing like planning. Some people are planning like a terrorist attack.
They're barricading the White House and the borders right now, like steel barricades. Like, they showing it. Yeah. And I'm like, you just don't know. But I think, like I said, at some point you gotta say, hey man, we're not doing that. We're not gonna participate in this society until you get this shit back right. you got this inflation going, but you don't have a reason as to why. You know, gas price. Why? What changed? What happened? You want another plane? You want another? Like, what happened? Why is eggs this amount? What happened?
And this is another thing they play us on. Well, this right here caused this right here to go up, or this war right here is going to make this right here go up. Bitch, y'all print the fucking money.
What happened that you can't give me no reasonable explanation? But we just gonna continue to pay it because we want to continue the same way of life. People just so accustomed to comfort and monotony, they ain't gonna say shit. They'll sit back and act like they don't see it, play crazy, play dumb, blind, deaf, and dumb.
Think of this. Ain't no way if the world works like they say the world works, and credit works like the credit is supposed to work, ain't no fucking way anybody can ever run up $32 trillion in debt.
Come on, man.
That makes us right there. You just playing in our face. How every year we add another $1 trillion a day. How did Donald Trump get to sign a bill and say we're gonna run the damn debt limit up another $4 to $5 trillion?
But sending money to Ukraine and Israel. What? Well, what money? We in debt.
We in debt, right?
But you gonna come to me saying I'm in debt. How the hell I'm gonna be in debt to somebody else that's in debt?
Right. I'm indebted to a debtor. Like,
it's crazy, man.
It's a crazy time we live in. And when you start really just parsing this out, thinking about it and talking about it, it's like, damn, we are stupid as fuck that we just participate in this society. And what's even scarier is the people that I see that try to lead, and then they go to other places,
Thailand,
and then they start to see, hey, all this shit probably about to hit the whole world.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I do see people that transition into other places like Thailand, Brazil, and the men, they accustom and adapt very quickly because that's just our nature. I usually see the women having trouble moving out abroad alone and dealing with struggles, but the men do just fine. They go to Thailand and say ain't never coming back.
But that's when you say that, that's people that I only see complaining as women. I never really seen too many men complaining about.
You adapt to. You can't go over here doing that same. You said you adapt to the culture here. You can't bring what you was doing over here over there.
Yeah,
but like I said, it's
like that girl that just went to Africa with that video. You seen that one? Yeah. So it's always some bullshit. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Help us grow the New Normal podcast. We're giving y'all good content every week. The next time we're gonna talk about is taxes. The reason we're talking about taxes is because we want to talk about how every time they have an issue.
Yeah, super chat.
Oh, thank you, TD. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna talk about how every time we have an issue in America, it seems as if we're gonna make a new law, we're gonna pass a new bill, but most importantly, we're gonna raise your taxes.
Before you go, what do you pull this super chat up and see what he said? For the super chatter.
People are sheep who turn into wolves when you go against the system.
It's true. Got to.
So the reason I'm talking about taxes is because I want y'all to hear. One, we're gonna talk about Gavin Newsom, and I know people hate Gavin Newsom.
They hate him with a passion,
especially the new followers we got on Instagram. They hate Gavin Newsom with a passion, but rightfully so. Gavin Newsom is a piss poor governor. He do a lot of policies. Even that video I showed him supposed to be like his campaign manager, best friend, wife. Like some things just show out in your character. If you're a piss poor person, here you might be a piss poor person there. I think pretty much most people are going to do things pretty much all the same way and everything. Yeah. So it wasn't a shock. But Gavin Newsom had kept lying about this gas tax. And basically this gas tax is supposed to force people to buy EVs. And most people are saying, hey, we don't have the grid, because I think about 3 years ago, it was very hot in California, but the grid kept going out because so many people ran out about Teslas, and the grid does not even support that many cars being on the electric grid. So they kept having blackouts. It was like every other week they was having a blackout, and they kept telling them we don't have the grid to support this. And a lot of the stuff that runs the quote unquote grid or whatever, it's supported by fossil fuels. So you still need fossil fuels to actually support the grid for the time being. Even Elon Musk had talked about, hey, you can't right now, you can't just cut this shit off and say we just going straight electric because it's not feasible. We don't have the infrastructure, everything ain't planned out. We don't have enough charging stations. It's just not feasible to just completely say you're just gonna wipe this out. So the idea that 2030 mandate for EVs is crazy. We also want to talk about Kathy Hochul. That's the governor of New York. The reason we talk about her is because she's going to put a video out and try to act like she's doing you guys a favor by taxing you, but not taxing you as much. So the first video we're going to play is this Gavin Newsom video. Let's play that one. If I can find it.
Going on here. Chef, back to you. The gas tax in California goes up tomorrow. It's July 1st. The governor of this state says, the quoting here, there is no 65-cent gas tax starting this week. The gas tax is increasing by 1.6 cents, which was approved by the legislature back in 2017 and California voters in 2018 before Governor Newsom took office. Governor Newsom writing this, third person Governor Newsom took office, Chef.
Oh, yeah, he wrote this himself. I mean, this is classic lies and manipulation by the nation's biggest narcissist, most popular narcissist. If you want to know what to believe the opposite of whatever Newsom puts out as a press release. But this is manipulation, right? They're saying, no, it's not a tax. Okay, well, maybe the gas tax itself is in the single-digit cents, but it's the low-carbon fuel standard, okay? These new benchmarks that they put in place July 1st that could increase gas prices up to 65 cents. So they're saying, oh, that's a fee, so technically it's not a tax. The tax is only 1 or 2 pennies. Well, how about we push all that kind of vernacular aside and recognize that we have the highest gas rates of any state in the entire country, including Hawaii, which is an island in the middle of nowhere.
It is no different than calling a proposition the save our schools and neighborhoods thing, right? And you let everybody rob everybody else, and that's such a quaint thing. Katie, to you, July.
And that is the issue that we're having too now. Because politicians get to the point where now they start to use a lot of these words and semantics because they feel like people are getting smarter and waking up to their bullshit. So they try to write in these bills and stuff and try to use different words instead of text. Now they want to call it a fee. Or they'll have things where they're trying to scare you once again, like the Green New Deal. They're trying to turn everything green, electric, windmills, water power, shit like that. They have you thinking that you're trying to stop the carbon in the air. And when you look at the research, carbon emission and what we actually been seeing in society is really not rising that much for us to be in a panic in the way that we is. Now, the idea of global warming, let's be clear. The science is global warming is a thing, but global warming will affect more shit like railroads, roads, shit like that, where they have, and the reason I know this is because I pour concrete. And so concrete has to have a certain amount of air in it or not air in it. So what happens is when it gets cold, it contracts. When it gets hot, it expands. And it has to do within a certain radius. When the stuff heats up and it gets hotter than what it's supposed to be or what is the averages is, it'll warp the road, bridges might collapse. You see a lot of these videos, the potholes and stuff like that, where cars are riding in America, fall into a pothole. A lot of that has to do with like global warming. You started seeing like them replacing train tracks because the steel in the train tracks started to curve and warp and stuff like that. So those are the issues that you'll have more so about global warming than it'll affect us as people, because it's so gradual that, people will technically adapt. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said when they fear monger us and tell us, hey, we got to do this, not knowing that, hey, we finna try to pass this bill that's $1 trillion for the Green New Deal. Well, let me see who got their hands in this company here and this company there, who making solar panels.
Follow the money.
Yeah, follow the money. Like who Nancy Pelosi, how you invested in these Ford EVs before y'all even signed a bill up in Congress that y'all was going to mandate Ford EVs?
You charging us for power, gas, water, when a lot of parts of the world are using solar energy, which is free.
Right.
Shouldn't be paying no motherfucking power bill when you can get power, but it's money.
But did you see the thing about the solar panels? They said this is a government mandate. Solar panels cannot hold 100% of battery capacity. They can only hold up as either 70 or 30%. I think it's 70%. So like if you have a battery, it cannot, it's a government regulated that it cannot hold this full potential of battery.
What you mean it can't, or they don't want to allow it?
They won't allow it. It can't. Like let's say you got a battery.
Okay, they mandate and they say you just can't. Yeah, that's
it can only
bullshit.
go. It only can charge to 70, but hey, this bitch can actually hold another 30% more.
Yeah, a lot of parts of the world are using Africa is specifically are using solar energy to run you. So it's crazy, man. Like I said, we just take it and don't question it and just keep working like a slave. You die, drop you in a box. Hey, bring the next one in. Bring the next one in. This is one big workshop. This is a factory. You can't leave the house without spending $20. You're gonna spend at minimum, and that's 10 in gas to get to where you're going and back. That's at minimum. You ain't saying if you stop and buy something to eat, take it up another 20.
Because you gotta think about this. If you leave and ain't going to work, you going to leave to spend some money.
Yeah.
And then even when you going to work, like I think about it, I get and good thing I drive so far, but I get points. But if I was going in I get a gallon of water every day. That's $4 at the gas station. So even going to work, I'm getting stuff to prepare my day for work.
Yeah.
So you spending money every time, even to go to work, to have your day. And then think about, like, they would say it's more costly to be poor. And I never really understood that. It was talking about, like, what if you got to buy like a uniform and you already poor? What if you got to go buy slip resistant shoes if you just even finna get a job at McDonald's? They don't supply you with these things. What if you got to buy like a lot of trucking companies, they don't come with like CBs in the truck. So now you got to go and buy your CB to actually, to perform your job. I got to go spend $200 to work for you.
Yeah, that shit should be provided.
You know what I'm saying?
You pick me as a worthy candidate. Fuck, I'm finna go spend my own money that I don't have yet, which is why I need the job.
Then you tell me, oh, well, we have uniforms, but the uniforms, they're gonna take $9 out your check for uniform. Bitch, what? But you tell me I gotta have the uniform, but they're gonna take $9 out my check for the uniform, and then you say, well, it's gonna be an extra $2 if you want them to wash it and bring it back too.
That's crazy.
What?
It's crazy, man.
See how they get you even to hold a job. They charge you just to even hold the job here with you guys. It's crazy. So I'm gonna play this Kathy Hochul video real quick about the congestion tax. See how y'all feel about what she said.
So I made the decision to put the congestion pricing program on pause while we devise a different path forward. State law requires that congestion pricing simultaneously raise money for the MTA and drive down traffic congestion. These are important priorities. But I believe that no New Yorker should have to pay a penny more than absolutely necessary to achieve these goals. And $15 was too much. And I'm proud to announce we have found a path to fund the MTA, reduce congestion, and keep millions of dollars in the pockets of our commuters. Under this plan, the MTA will implement a congestion pricing plan with a reduced daytime toll of $9 beginning in January. You heard that correctly. It was $15 before, and now it is $9. That is a 40% reduction. This lower toll will save daily commuters nearly $1,500 annually. And that kind of money makes a big difference for our families.
You see how she tries to act like she did y'all such a big deal. Instead of $15, it's going to be $9 now. She did such a good job of lowering the congestion tax, and all congestion tax is for them saying that, hey, it's too many people down here in this certain area at this certain time. And if I'm not in this area, if I come to this area at another time, I won't get taxed, which is crazy to think. And I don't understand why y'all want so many people in y'all city that you charge me because y'all want to be a city of tourism. A touristic city. So now you're charging me for it being a touristic city. The Big Apple giving this grandiose, name for New York, putting it in the movies, telling everybody this New York is such a good place, but now you're charging me because y'all have an influx of people and congestion and people can't move like they need to move through the city. So now you're punishing me for y'all wanting to invite more people here. This is crazy.
Insane, man.
And like I
take
said, this is how y'all never notice how they just speak so freely about our money.
Knowing we gonna do it.
they just speak so freely. Yeah, we're gonna Just raise a tax. So much so I want y'all to look at this video real quick. This is the new mayor of New York right here.
I've proposed.
Yeah, just lackadaisical, huh? They call it a rounding error. It's just about $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
Bitch, I want to give you none of my money. I don't care how much money I make.
And what are the taxes for? How am I gonna benefit it?
Right.
You gonna benefit. How am I gonna what is it? Am my education is the education system gonna get better? Are the roads gonna be better? Am I gonna have more access to medical, services, healthcare, etc.? No. It's just go ahead.
You're gonna tax me, and I literally ain't gonna be able to see any improvements.
It's no different than staying in an apartment when I'm getting my renewal lease. And you taking my shit up again?
Yeah.
And you gonna take it up? You ain't coming in. Hey, we're gonna move you over here while we upgrade your apartment. While we do this, you just take it up again. Take it up again. But somebody come in gonna pay hundreds of dollars less than me because they're a new tenant.
Ain't that crazy?
Crazy as hell. Same shit. Gonna pay hundreds of dollars less than me.
That shit crazy.
After I done been in here and shown loyalty, and
that's what I was about to say. If you're a good tenant, you should actually be paying the lease.
Yeah.
If you know I'm paying my money every time every month on time, it should be some type of reward there. But you punishing me because I stay in your apartment 3-4 years now. Every year you raising it $50 to $100.
Because they want you to get out. It ain't for long term. That's what it is.
But see, the thing is, if that's the case, if I stay, let's say I stay there and I'm 5 years and I'm paying $500 more, let's say $200 more than a new tenant, that don't make sense then.
Don't make sense at all. Because they looking at it as, well, he need to stay here. We gonna make him pay. Or she need to stay, or they need this.
Oh, so they praying on
you. Yeah, you need this. So I know you're gonna pay the increase. If not, well, you just move.
Yeah. That makes sense, because if you could move, you would move. That's fucked up. Like I said, all the stuff that we just
this is the epitome of capitalism. That's what that is. It's capitalism at its finest, dog.
That shit crazy. That shit is crazy, and it's scary to have that type of shit that go, well, we just let this shit happen. We ain't burnt down the apartment complexes yet. We ain't slapped a nigga. We ain't shot a keg under nobody yet. Like none of these things are going on in America, and we still just gonna go to work. We still just gonna let the shit happen.
Let the job slowly kill you, kill your dreams.
You're gonna continue to commit suicide, and women gonna continue to depend on the government and all this type of stuff. Hell, but like I said, we starting to see a lot of government shit about to get cut off now. So we finna see how that's finna go. Finna see how that's finna go. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff that is going on, and that's why I wanted the title "Americans Are Dumb," because the shit that we just allow, we don't rebel, we cry, bitch, and moan, but it's not to the level of what we need to see. It ain't no reason. And this is the thing, Black people, especially us, and I just go back to the Jabari situation that we talked about earlier. We'll come together in death. We never come together in life.
Yeah. That
is so sad to see. We'll come together in death. We never come together in life. We never come together to say, hey, it was 10,000 of y'all out here marching for Jabari. How about we get 10,000 people to just give $1? We don't even need much. Just 10,000 y'all give $1, and we're gonna start our own grocery store. We're gonna start our own school. We just need y'all to give $1.
Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen.
How crazy it is. But y'all will come together when a white man shoot a nigga in the back or kill somebody, or y'all feel away, but y'all will never come together so y'all can have your own police force patrol y'all neighborhoods like the Jews do. Y'all won't have your own school systems and be on your own children and own curriculum like other communities do. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna be back bitching and moaning and school systems ain't this. I went to Birmingham City School. Shit, it was filler when I was in school. And parents are still sending their kids there.
Yep.
Do you notice? I think they did some of the cell phones, but about 2 years ago, you could get on Facebook and see numbered school fights in our school system.
Yeah.
Brawls. We ain't talking about no one girl here. We talking about lunchroom, a whole big brawl in school, multiple. And like I said, I ain't trying to act like it wasn't no fights when I was in school, because we got to fight too. But we had learning. We had people that actually care. I think now we have a culture of people that just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. It was a girl that went viral a few years ago. I think we may have talked about it, where she had a song about dropping out and all of that, how she had no faith, and she was very popular. You ain't seen her nowhere else. Yeah, she went viral, but it's crazy, man. I think we're gonna still see it. They're gonna keep doing the same 1, 2.
Yeah.
We got what we got next?
We're gonna talk about the bounty hunter.
Oh yeah, the bounty hunter. Oh yeah, this the crazy one right here.
Oh, we got to talk about this insurance fraud real quick too.
Oh yeah. Oh, the billion. Yeah.
We got to talk about this. We definitely got to talk about this. Let me go to the insurance fraud.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Gagliotti, and I'm the head of the Justice Department's Criminal Division. Thank you all for joining us today as we announce the largest coordinated healthcare fraud takedown in the history of the Department of Justice. Today marks a decisive moment in our fight to protect American taxpayers from fraudsters and to defend the integrity of America's healthcare system. We are announcing today charges against 324 defendants for their alleged participation in healthcare fraud schemes involving approximately $14.6 billion in false claims submitted to Medicare, Medicaid, and other healthcare programs.
That's a lot of bread there, Jack.
14.6 billion. Let me play this next video.
Okay, y'all, come on in. Leave the door cracked because it's a breeze blowing outside. Okay, but I got some tea, so come on in. The largest healthcare fraud takedown in the history of the Department of Justice just happened. They brought charges against 324 defendants. I had to write this down because y'all know how I am. I want to get the numbers straight. Okay. Over 14.6 billion in false claims, y'all. Let me tell y'all, let me give y'all the details. They seized cash, they seized luxury vehicles, and they seized properties. Transnational criminal organizations, Russia, Eastern Europe, and Pakistan, among other countries, but those the big three, okay? They bought dozens of medical supply companies in the U.S., and they submitted over $10 billion in fraudulent claims. They sure did. And they used stolen identities of over 1 million Americans, y'all. What else happened? They arrested their ass at the Mexico border. Couple of them was at some airports, but for the most part, they arrested their asses at the border, trying to get away because, you know, they said the jig is up, so they was trying to hurry up, but they was, you know, USA, we hit that Dikembe. No, you're not going to be escaping this. You're finna go to prison. 74 defendants included medical professionals that fueled the opioid crisis. So they was making money off of people who they got addicted to opioids. So basically, it was a double whammy for them. They was making money hand over fist. And apparently they're going to prosecute them as drug dealers because technically that's what they were. Ain't that some shit? Okay, $1 billion of those, $1 billion of those claims came from fraud. Let me tell y'all this is the most disgusting part, right? Performing unnecessary skin grafts on dying patients. And guess what the patients were? They were elderly and disabled. That is disgusting. And they need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for them. That was absolutely wrong. Those people could not die with dignity. They died getting unnecessary skin graft procedures. That for what? Just so they can make some. Anyway, I don't even want to get mad about that again.
Seeing this and listening to that, America has this thing where, you know, the American dream, get married, have your kids, big house, white picket fence. All of that shit is so far out of reach now because of how they've done America, how they've made everybody go to the workforce, taxing us out the ass, raising the prices of everything, cost of living. But they always try to make it seem like if you go to work and you do right and you're a good person, you're going to be able to get where you want in life. And then you start seeing 324 people in a $14.6 billion fraud. Now, these are the people that get caught. And of course, we see little fraudulent shit like this all the time.
How many people got away?
How many people got away? How many other frauds going on? How many people that we know are billionaires are actually billionaires from fraud? What type of shit do you have to do to be a billionaire?
I don't think you get to billionaire status doing it the right way. I think 1% of the 1%, 1% of the 100% of billionaires do it in a legitimate way.
Mhm.
Like Jeff Bezos, which you can still question a little bit, but he's selling products, started selling, but you can see it. It's organic growth. You can see it, but for the most part, you step on toes. Even your Jay-Z and P. Diddy's, you don't get up this ladder by not stepping on nobody's shoulders.
Yeah.
You mess over people to get up to these spots because you got to.
And see, that's the thing that they keep us in the trick bag. You know, you're gonna go to work, you're gonna do your 40 hours or your 80 hours a week. You're
Keep you on the right way.
Yeah, you're gonna have your 401k, and hopefully you still be in good enough health to still be able to move around and spend a little money and the little time that you got left on earth. Like the idea that we supposed to be working until we 70 years old, and they still talk about, hey, we gotta raise this
retirement age. To what? Because that tell you how crazy it is right there.
And I'm gonna say this: working is not a bad thing. So let me just clarify that working is not a bad thing, but it got to get to the point where you need to be able to work how you want to work, control your own destiny, control your own money. Because when we start seeing these layoffs, the people, like I said, are committing more suicides, women on higher levels of psychiatric medication, stressed out, worrying about, you know, if they will get fired, DEI, going to these jobs, AI, being replaced by people overseas, factories moving. It's so much bullshit in the game that you have to worry about when we talk about job security. There's no such thing as a job security.
Nah, it's not. That's
point blank period.
Nah.
And so when I'm watching stuff like this about all of this fraudulent shit that's going on, it's like there's really no right and wrong. There's really no right and wrong. Thank you for the donation. Let me read
Big time super chat. Appreciate that.
I'm so proud of you, young men. Your knowledge of diverse subject matter as well as love for the community is to be applauded. Salute. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, like I said, just they keeping us in the trick bag to keep on make us keep doing this shit. And it gets sad. We talked about the young lady the other day, worked till she died.
And then the guy followed right behind her, picking up the extra shift. I gotta get the overtime. Fall out. Hey, somebody gotta finish his route now. That now you potentially may die.
Right.
It's just keep you on this wheel, man. And the best thing that happened to me in 2019 was me getting fired from my job. That's the best thing ever. It was because I wasn't fulfilled. And my manager that fired me, guess what she was? What? Who we talk about a lot on this podcast? Jewish.
Ah, damn.
70-some years old.
Yeah.
Some cases she wouldn't even, because we had overtime on Saturday, she would still be there in the same clothes she had on Friday.
What?
Yes. 70 years old. Lonely, kids gone. No husband.
See, those are the type of things where I say working ain't bad, because I just think about my mother. She's an empty nester. My daddy still works, so my mama got a job at like Dollar General. And I said, the only reason you got that job because it's be best there. You just want
to be social.
Yeah, social. You see the best syndrome and shit like that. But for the most part, I think like people need to be able to control their own, destiny. I think and the reason I want to talk about this is because when I see people commit this type of stuff, it really ain't no good and evil. I mean, no right and wrong. It's good and evil, but it really ain't no right and wrong when it comes to things with especially like made up shit with money. You make up the money, and then you make up the rules, and then you can put me in prison because I break the rules. And then 2 years later, you change the rules on how to make money to make the money easier because you found out that my scheme and my scam was actually pretty smart. So now, hey, well, we're gonna go change it so we can finagle it and do it this way too. So this is the stuff that us as Americans, we have to come together. Just picture me. That's why I say, like, even listen to a P. Diddy trial, or if I'm on a tax, I wish I would be on a tax evasion trial. So I'd be like, well, we're gonna put him in jail because he ain't paying his taxes. I'm not convicting you. You think you finna have me be mad at you because I don't want to pay taxes either. But how other people look at it is like, well, I pay my taxes, he needs to pay his taxes too.
And then you got loopholes on how to not pay them.
Pay taxes.
So is it really a thing if it's loopholes on how to avoid paying them?
If it can be loopholes or not to pay some shit, you don't need the shit.
And I think that'll be some good subject matter for Monday when we talk about locally in Alabama where we are with K.I.V. and this hemp bill she just passed and cannabis and CBD to where you got people in California and others. Football numbers 10 years 15 years for weed, but you just made it legal and these people making billions,
right?
But you got me locked up for making a couple thousand because I went through your regulation process and you getting a chunk of this. Now they can do it, but now you was doing it, but you gonna get
the name of the game is lobbyists. Who got the money?
Exactly, like it's crazy.
Who got the money? Who funding it? Who fucking who? That's a big part of who fucking who got the money, who know your dirt, who got your dirty little secrets they can tell and expose you. You got caught with your pants down, cheating on your wife or cheating on your. It's just so much to go into, and that's why we talk about this game, the rat race of making the money like that. You don't get the $14 billion of being billionaire status without having some dirt on somebody or knowing something. Like I said, it's legitimate people like a Jeff Bezos, maybe Elon Musk. We see the company, like you could actually put your hands and see it. But then I be like thinking like Warren Buffett. You was just an investor, you just invested one day
and just ran it up to billions. Like, come on, dog. We ain't no fucking fools.
You just ran it up like that. Come on now.
All your investments was spot on and maximum return.
Like, come on, dog. You know somebody, you in bed with somebody. Come on, you know somebody that knows somebody that's Congress on the same thing with Nancy Pelosi. You worth $233 million and you make $233,000
on your salary.
On your salary.
Cause that's 1,000 times.
They really fucking us. They really fucking us, and they tell us, hey, $10 an hour, that's good pay.
That's a livable wage. Man, get out of here.
Jeff Bezos,
you want to sign up to work no $10.
Jeff Bezos making millions of dollars a minute
and paying these folks pennies.
Come on, man.
How much money you need? That's always be my question. How much money you need? How much profit you need? To where you got people that's working for you slave hours. I see a lot of complaints with Amazon, UPS, FedEx, etc.
That's the question. That is the $1 billion question. How much money do you need?
How much money you need?
Because like I think, and maybe I view it wrong. Maybe we viewing it wrong. Maybe that's why we ain't in certain positions because we view it wrong. Because I would think, how much money do you need? But then we see all these billionaires, they don't really just give money. And then if they do give money, they do it like taxable charities and giveaways and stuff like that, where they can still do a tax write-off and still make some money and shit like that. So I think it's part of. Then also, if that's the part of the game, if you decide to sign up to play the game, you got to play the game how the game is getting played.
You sign up to play, you got to play by the rules.
Yeah, and so that's why I say right now, we got to take the ball and go home. That's what type of time Americans need to be on.
Don't play the game.
Don't play the game. Like you just got to put the ball down. Nobody move, nothing around this bitch. You don't go to work, don't move no boxes, don't ship no shit. Like if everything stood still in America, well, we ain't making no money, and America's made real fucking demands. We shouldn't be paying for no water. We shouldn't be paying for no electricity. We shouldn't be paying no fucking property tax. Like, bruh, after you pay your house off, that should be yours.
Yes.
You should be having to pay no car. Okay, you could. Okay, the initial getting the car tag, pay it, but every year.
No.
And then based on how new my car is, I got to pay more. And the older it gets, I pay less. No, the one initial time that when I buy the car, the tag, that's it. That's all I should pay for.
Register the car and you pay your insurance because you can't hit nobody and not. That's understandable.
Okay, insurance, we understand. And then even that's a scam because we paying too much for that. Yeah. How y'all doing?
Especially when you look at the profit increases year after year after year. How?
Don't make sense. So, like I said, we gotta make sure that we all come together. And this to the point now, we don't even need to be on no. And I get it. Racism is real, but it's gonna have to take concerted effort of everybody. It can't be black over here, white over here, aged over here. It's gonna have to be a concerted effort of just the everyday American people being fed up, tired of this shit. Everybody. If you want the actual utopia, it gotta be everybody. And so much so that I'm finna play this next video. This is gonna be our last video. We're gonna get up out of here. It's basically about a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And the reason we're gonna talk about the bounty hunter, because the bounty hunter seems to have the right idea. And he says he says the right thing. And I'm gonna show y'all what he said. Y'all tell me, do y'all think he was right about what he said?
As possible. My name is Martin Alvarado. I'm a bounty hunter by trade. I've been introduced by my agency. I'm from Seattle. Tacoma called me and told me that as the waves go through, this is the first wave. The second and third is when they're going to hire us. The ICE is going to hire us bounty hunters, and they're going to be giving $1,500 to $1,000 per illegal. How are you going to stop us from coming through? Because we don't have to worry about warrants. We don't really have to follow too many of the laws. And if we're going to be deputized by ICE, we can pretty much do anything we want. They're already going over there and creating the squads as we speak now. That's why they called me. So as soon as I get back with my squad in Tacoma, we will be coming down the state. $1,000 per illegal is a pretty good price. Just to do things that you kind of enjoy. How or what you guys are going to do to stop that? Are you going to pay us more? Are you going to pay us $2,000 to just leave them alone?
I think you should be making those kind of comments. You're going to create panic right now.
I'm not creating panic. I'm trying to give you guys informed of what's going on.
You're comparing numbers right now. You shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I'm just stating a fact of what are you guys going to do to stop us from doing our job.
Maybe you shouldn't be doing that job at all.
Why?
We're
what part of illegal don't you understand?
You can't put a price in.
You can put a price on every human being. Every human is worth a dollar amount.
It's not right.
Well, that's not right. That's your problem. If you don't.
All right, sir, we're going to have to ask you to stop. You know, and around here we don't refer to people as illegals.
I'm not going to get
they're
politically
human
correct
beings
because it bothers you guys. Your sensitivity is not our problem.
Well, it is my problem.
Is a problem.
You know what? It is my problem.
Stating to beware because
it's time for you to be quiet.
Us.
It's time for you to be quiet. It's time for you to be quiet and leave.
Why? Because I'm telling the truth?
Because you don't even have the cojones to wear take off the mask, bro. That's why. Then there you go. You got some? Now get out of here. Take them with you. Goodbye.
Bold, but it's this is fact. This is a human, because they already showed the counts. I think we can get into that Monday. They already got the counts where they taking these folks. You bold enough to come and say they paying you $1,000. So is this really about me being illegal, or is this about something else?
See, it's about you being illegal, but at the same time, I like his approach. Hey, they paying me $1,000 to do this over here. What y'all gonna pay me not to do it? Because I'd rather you pay me more where I can sit on my ass and not take these motherfucking illegals. I don't want them shooting and fighting and beating me and exposing. That's why I'm with a mask on. And he was stupid for pulling his mask down.
Yeah, he shouldn't have put his mask down.
That's why I'm here, because I don't want people to dox me, tell people where my family stay, my wife work, where I work. I don't want nobody. So I would rather come here and tell y'all, hey, in 2 weeks, they got a thing over here. And this is how you should do America. America is nothing but about getting money. So why would I go out here and risk my life when I can come? Hey, they're gonna pay $1,000, $1,500. Are y'all willing to pay more? And then he say, hey, you can't put no price on no human being.
But you got the agencies that's operating under your jurisdiction, if you will, and allowing us to do it.
Well, see, that's what he was saying. You know, they talk about ICE. ICE is a governmental thing. That ain't a state thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
So what he's trying to do is put two. So let's say it's California, right?
Yeah.
California don't want ICE, but ICE can go in there because it's federal.
That's my point.
And what you saying?
Well, I'm saying, if ICE is a thing and they know this is how ICE operate, how you get mad at me for telling you how a government that supersedes you operate? So, and are you gonna pay me more to not operate under what the Fed telling me to?
Right.
And why you got a problem with me and not ICE?
I agree.
That's
I agree. And then they're gonna tell me, well, you could not do the job, bitch. Oh, not get paid.
You cannot sit up in here on this panel and be a politician.
That shit's stupid. Well, you could not do that job. Like, what the fuck is we talking about, bitch? I'm trying to get some. Do you understand? That's how you know people. Some people that hold these positions are stupid. Because if I would have been up there, well, nigga, how much you want? If I don't agree with ICE, how much money are y'all talking about? Like, what do we got to do? Because what we can really run up, because we'll fuck the game up right now right here and right now, with all these states that don't want ICE there, we'll say we're gonna pay y'all $5,000. ICE can't pay all of y'all to come get everybody because now we done ran up the check.
But you got a trickle effect. Now you going against a government entity saying you ain't gonna do the job.
But it's California. They've been going against a lot of government entities.
Again, I'm saying it's gonna spread. That's my point.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So the government ain't just finna say, "Hey, you ain't finna stop what we goddamn doing."
Oh, they not gonna stop it. But that's the reason they deputizing everyday bounty hunters now.
Yeah,
because they were saying they don't have a lot of people that want to be FBI agents, ICE agents. Because it's, again, same thing with doing, the George Floyd riots. A lot of police were just saying, "Fuck it, y'all don't appreciate what we're doing. We just gonna throw our hands up. We out of here." So now it's same thing with ICE. They don't have a lot of people want to do ICE. They don't have a lot of people want to be FBI agents. Yeah. So it's like now we deputize like Florida. They just had a video, Trump and DeSantis down there talking about they finna deputize just bounty hunters so they can deport it. They trying to skip all the trials and stuff like that. You getting deported. They got an alligator Alcatraz, literally a moat where they putting alligators in there
so they can't cross. Yeah,
this is crazy. Like we live in this like it's funny.
That's crazy, right there. Yeah.
1 minute we so technologically advanced, and now we got some barbaric shit where they showing a video of an alligator towing the damn python in his mouth through the water. That's big ass python. So you mean to tell me people are jumping in this smoke with these big ass pythons and these big ass alligators trying to get to America?
That's crazy.
This is barbaric shit that we living in, but it is what it is. Like, yeah, that's why I said I don't have no problem with this dude coming. Hey man, they paying us $1,500. Mm-hmm. You need to come on and go with the $2,500. And I would rather you pay because I know y'all don't want the illegals here anyway. Or shit, if I was him, it's America. Don't pay my $2,500, and I'm still go and get my $1,500 and get me an illegal here. I done ran the 4 bands off y'all, and I done double deal. So this is the nature of America, and I think that's how more people need to actually approach what America is. It's nothing but a big corporation. Nothing but a big business. It doesn't care about you. Like that man said, you can put a price on anybody. Yep. That's what they do. You are a number. Your social security number is part of your price. When you go to these factories, they already calculated how much you're worth being there, how much you cost them, how much you make, your insurance. Everybody has a number on their back. Believe it or not.
That's true.
You're only worth what you're only worth what you really can produce in America.
Yeah.
And if you can't produce shit, you pretty much worthless.
Yeah.
So, and I know it sound fucked up, it sound heartless. These are just the realities, and we're not trying to sugarcoat that on the New Normal Podcast. We're just trying to bring y'all real deal, good information so y'all stay abreast on what's going on. Y'all know that it's a lot of bullshit coming down the pipelines, layoffs, AI, terrorist attacks, open borders, taxation, fraud, schemes. It's always somebody around the corner ready to fuck your ass. It just is. It's America.
Waiting on you.
They're waiting on you, and so that's why you gotta keep your head on the swivel, and you got to pay attention. We got a cell phone. A lot of people, it's crazy. We got cell phones, and people still are oblivious to what the things that's going on in society. But that's all I got. So what you got to say?
Definitely great segment today. We covered a lot of information. Like I said, like the page, subscribe to the channel. Monday we'll be back on Miscellaneous Monday, same time. No calls. You want to call in and give us some thoughts, your feedback, any questions, any opinions you may have on anything we may have discussed, or just anything in general. Give us a call and let us hear what you got to say. But if not, it's 4th of July weekend. Be careful, be safe. Check your surroundings, double check your surroundings. Don't think shit just don't drink and drive. Don't be foolish.
Right.
Make it home. That's my mantra. Make sure you make it home.
Make it home. Yep.
I don't care if you gotta look uncool. Wear your motherfucking seatbelts. It ain't that uncomfortable. Make it home. Well, I'm gonna tell you what's really uncomfortable. Not making it home. Or making it home, but not in the way you left.
The way you left, yeah.
Make it home. That's all I got.
But I want to tell everybody thank y'all once again. Like the video. Thank you guys for the super chat. We really appreciate that. help us out even more with just sharing the New Normal podcast. Share it, tell everybody about us. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Make sure y'all turn the notifications on your phone, so we can grow the channel. And we'll be back Monday, Wednesday at 12:30, and then on Saturday we don't really have a time. We normally record by 8 o'clock. But this Saturday we won't be recording. Like I said, thank y'all for tuning in. It's the New Normal podcast, and we gone. Peace.